The Rift S. Is it any good and is it worth upgrading? Let's find out. Hello Fusion Arena fans and welcome to a new video. I finally had a chance to try out the new Rift S and decided to make a review about it. So first things first, the Rift S is the new PC connected headset from developer Oculus. And it will eventually replace the old Rift, so the old Rift won't be no longer produced. And they said themselves that the Rift S isn't kind of like a Rift 2.0 and it's more like a kind of little upgrade to the old one. This one has inside-out tracking, which is really interesting, and it will be available for $400, which is a low entry price. And with this headset you can connect it to the Oculus Store, but also to Steam VR, unlike the Oculus Quest that only uses the Oculus Store. So let's check out the design of the goggles first. So the first thing that stands out when you look at the Rift S is that it kind of looks like a PlayStation VR with the strap and the headset overall, and they actually work together with Lenovo for this design. And one thing that it has, like the PlayStation VR, is this halo strap that you can adjust the size on the back. And even though it's really comfortable, like I played for like I think an hour and it felt really comfortable all the time, I'm not a really huge fan of this particular system because it has some downsides. Because I still feel like for longer sessions, the traditional ones like the Vive, like the old Vive has, or the Quest, are more comfortable in the long term. And it is also kind of like not really comfortable to put on over-ear headsets, which we are gonna see later. One thing that I think is the overall build quality is good, but I think the normal Oculus standard is just a little bit higher. Like I think the old Rift and even the Quest feel just like a little bit more high quality. Like it's not bad, but I still feel like it feels a little bit more cheaper than the other glasses. The screen is an LCD panel with a resolution of 2560 x 1440. And they used an LCD and not an OLED panel, which I think is kind of sad because we know that OLED displays have good colors, especially good black values. But I have to admit, for an LCD display it looks pretty impressive. The picture is sharp and the colors also look pretty good for an LCD display. And it only runs at 80 Hz refresh rate instead of 90 like the old one, but I still felt like it was smoother on the Rift S, on the new one, than the old one with 90 Hz. So it felt really smooth and good and made a lot of fun playing these games. Like I mentioned before, this headset uses an inside-out tracking method for the tracking. And this means there are no external sensors that you have to put up like on the old Rift, that all the tracking is done within the glasses, or better say with the 5 cameras that you can see around the VR headset. And I have to admit, this tracking worked really well. Like I can compare it to the Oculus Quest, who has a similar tracking. And I felt like it was even a little bit better. There were just some like slightly problems when you had the controls like really close to your face, but it was very rare that this happens. And one advantage that the inside-out tracking has is the setup, because the time to set up is only a few minutes. I think it's the easiest setup for a PC connected headset that I've ever done, because it's the same as on the Quest. Just calibrate the ground and then point to the space that you have. And this is very fast, and it's a lot better if you don't have to put up like sensors and stuff like that. So outside-in tracking I think is still a little bit better, but they did a really good job on this headset with the tracking. So the tracking is pretty good. So the controllers are the new touch controllers from Oculus, and I previously reviewed them on the Quest review, and I think they're great. Like they're lightweight, they fit great in your hand, and they feel immersive. So you can play whichever game you want with them. You can game for sport games, but can also draw with them. And they have a grip button, a trigger button, 2 buttons on top, and an analog stick. So I think those are one of my favorite controllers that there are out there at the time. For the audio solution, they use, just like on the Quest, a kind of like in-strap audio solution. And yeah, the audio solution is kind of mediocre. Like, one good thing is that sometimes the sound feel like they're coming from the actual real world, like around you. But on the other hand, the sound is kind of mediocre. So I would advise you to play with your own headphones or headset. And yeah, there comes one problem, because if you want to use over-ear headsets, it's really hard to fit them over the Halo strap because it is so big. And you most likely have to use like in-ear buds or smaller headphones that fit properly over the headset. And yeah, I think it's kind of dumb that they didn't think about this, but yeah, you can play with the integrated audio. So the conclusion, overall we think the Rift S is a good VR headset. There are no huge improvements compared to the old Rift, but there's still some pros, like the good image quality, and also the very easy setup is very nice that you can do in only a few minutes. There are only a few flaws, like the Halo strap that I personally didn't like as much, and also the audio problems, like the integrated audio isn't that great. But yeah, overall we still really liked it. And yeah, I think Facebook's first priority on this headset was to kind of make VR available for a broader audience and not specifically to give the best specs or whatever. And the headset is also kind of cheap with $400 as an entry price. It will probably go down after some time. I think this headset will be great for people who already own a gaming PC and casually want to play VR games. Of course, if you want to have the best graphics or the best tracking, you might have to look for something else. If you don't own a gaming PC, I would also check out the Quest, which is a standalone headset. We also have a review on these glasses, and yeah, check it out. Otherwise, you're good to buy the Rift S, and yeah, I hope we could clear up some questions about the Rift S and you liked this video. So if you liked it, subscribe to see more VR content, and yeah, hope to see you next time. Bye guys.